Hi, my name is Cresta Starr. I cover professional wrestling over on Fightful every Thursday for TNA and every Saturday for AEW Collision. There is a big weekend of professional wrestling. There's 4 shows, so I want to give you a quick rundown and my opinion on it. Let's go. Starting off the weekend right on Friday, May 23rd, we have TNA Under Siege in no particular order. The matches are going to start off, I think, with the Elegance brand, which is Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance versus Spitfire. That's going to be Jody Threat and Danny Luna. They have the stipulation that if Jody Threat and Danny Luna lose, they will break up as a tag team. I personally think that the Elegance brand is going to retain, and unfortunately, we will see Danny Luna and Jody Threat break up. Another match on that card is going to be Eddie Edwards versus Cody Deaner. The stipulation on this match is if Cody Deaner loses, this is his last match in TNA. I surmise that unfortunately for Cody Deaner, he'll be transitioning more back into his backstage role, and Eddie Edwards will take this. Another match on this card is going to be Mike Santana versus AJ Francis from First Class. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy what First Class is doing. However, Mike Santana currently is on a run of a lifetime in TNA. So I do think Mike Santana takes it here. Also on this card, there will be Tessa Blanchard versus Ariana Grace, which unfortunately I think Tessa Blanchard would win. In the main event bracket of Under Siege, we start off with Masha Slamovich versus Victoria Crawford. I do see Masha, who is the champion right now, the Knockouts Women's Champion for TNA, I do see her retaining in this match. Also in the main event card, we have Elijah and Joe Hendry versus Frankie Kazarian and Trick Williams. I think that Joe Hendry and Elijah will lose here, and it'll be Frankie Kazarian and Trick Williams that gets the win here. And I only say that because the next day on NXT Battlegrounds, on Sunday on NXT Battleground, I do think, and I do believe in my hardest of hearts, Joe Hendry will pin Trick Williams. And rounding out Under Siege, we will have the Hardys with Leon Slater. So Matt Hardy and Leon Slater versus the Nemeth brothers, which is Ryan Nemeth and Nick Nemeth. Jeff Hardy cannot travel to Canada, so Leon Slater is a temporary Hardy boy for this evening. I do foresee the Nemeths retaining. It would be nice for the Hardys to retain, but I do see the Nemeths retaining. And that wraps up the card for TNA Under Siege on Friday, May 23rd, 2025. On to Saturday. On Saturday, May 24th, WWE is putting on Saturday Night Main Event. Let's get into that card right now. Again, in no particular order, we have Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a steel cage match. I think that Damian Priest has had a good run so far, but I don't know if we're going to give something back to the Scottish psychopath. So I do predict Damian Priest takes this match. Also on this card, we have John Cena versus R-Truth. And R-Truth, everyone knows that John Cena is his childhood hero, which he did recently say on a press conference. How can that be when R-Truth is like 150 years old? Unfortunately for our good uncle R-Truth, I do see John Cena taking the win here. Also on this card, we have CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. This is a tag team match. I don't know which way to call this. Unfortunately, I do see some shenanigans. I think this will end in a DQ. Lastly, on this card, we have Jey Uso, who is your champion, versus Logan Paul. I have to tell you, we the fans lose, but I believe Jey Uso is going to win. And that's Saturday Night Main Event. I know it is a short card, but let's move on to Sunday, which is a doubleheader. On Sunday, May 25th, we're going to start off with Double or Nothing from AEW. In no particular order, we do have the Men's Owen Hart Cup Tournament final versus Hangman Page versus Will Ospreay. I do not know who to pick because I'm very sports invested in this match, but I am going to say that my heart says Will Ospreay. So I'm going to say Ospreay wins this match. In the Women's Owen Hart Tournament final, we have Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter. And you know I got to pick the CEO. We also have on this card the AEW Women's Championship between Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa. I love Mina, and I think everyone loves Mina, but this will be a Toni Storm retention, a timeless Toni Storm retention. Also on this card, we have the AEW Tag Team Championship titles on the line. That'll be the Sons of Texas, which consists of Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, versus the Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley, MVP, and also Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley being the tag team. Sons of Texas, God bless. The Hurt Syndicate is about to hurt people. They hurt people, yeah. Hurt Syndicate is taking this. Also on this card, there is the AEW Continental Championship, which the champion, Kazuchika Okada, versus Speedball Mike Bailey. I am a personal fan of Speedball Mike Bailey. I think they are a fantastic professional wrestler. So I'm going with my heart on this one. I say it's Speedball, but it very well could be Kazuchika. Also on this card, we do have a stretcher match between Mark Briscoe and Ricochet. The stipulation being that in order to win this match, you have to put your opponent on the stretcher, wheel it into the ambulance, and close the door. I'm closing the door on this match. I don't care. I'm kidding. I will say I think it's Ricochet. Ricochet is having a run of the lifetime. Ricochet is being a piece of crap. So unfortunately for all of us, Ricochet is about to be way more annoying. Also on the Double or Nothing card this Sunday, there will be an Anarchy in the Arena match. Team 1 will consist of the Ops, which is Samoa Joe, Will Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata. Also with them will be Willow Nightingale, Swerve Strickland, and Kenny Omega. They will be taking on the team of the Death Riders, which will consist of Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and Jon Moxley with Marina Shafir, and the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. They'll be having their Anarchy in the Arena match, which is just going to be a hot mess. I do predict, unfortunately for all of us, the Death Riders are going to cheat. However, this match is going to be incredibly sports entertaining. These next couple of matches are rumored to be on the pre-show for Double or Nothing. We'll have FTR, which consists of Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, versus Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia. I adore Nigel McGuinness, but I'm so sorry. FTR is going to beat the brakes off of these young men for no reason. Also on the pre-show, we have Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay and Harley Cameron. I enjoy Harley Cameron and Anna Jay. I think they're strong competitors, but it's Megan Bayne's time. So I do see Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford getting the W here. Rounding out the pre-show for AEW Double or Nothing, we have Paragon, which consists of Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong versus the Don Callis family consisting of Konosuke Takeshita, please forgive me, Josh Alexander, and Kyle Fletcher. I think even though Paragon is going to be booked strong, the Don Callis family will cheat you out of your boots. So I do think the Don Callis family does get the win here. That rounds out Double or Nothing, including the pre-show. Let's get that bonus footage for NXT. NXT Battleground takes place on Sunday, May 25th, 2025. And I want to give a quick disclaimer. I don't watch NXT. So I'm going to be judging based off of what I know and people's hairstyles. Let's go. So starting off the card, again, in no particular order, we have Tony D'Angelo versus Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Yes, I looked. Just based off of how they look, I'm going Tony D'Angelo because one, I can pronounce your name and I like your hat. There's also the NXT Women's Championship on the line. Stephanie Vaquer, who's the champion, will be versus Jordynne Grace. I love Jordynne Grace, so I'm going to be biased here, and I like Jordynne Grace's hair, so Jordynne Grace is going to be your winner. Also on NXT Battleground this Sunday, there is a North American Women's Championship match between Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka. It is impossible for me to pick because the little bit of familiarity I do have with these women's work, they're both phenomenal wrestlers. I like both of their hair, so I'm going to determine that us, the fans, win. We also have the NXT Championship, Obafemi, your champion, versus Miles Bourne. And I met Obafemi in real life, so I'm going to say Obafemi because I don't watch NXT and I am biased. Also on NXT Battleground this Sunday, there is a 6-man tag match consisting of the first team being Hank and Tank with the assistance of Josh Briggs. They'll be taking on the team of the Culling, which consists of Brooks Jensen, Nico Vance, and Sean Spears with the assistance of Izzy Dane. I do not know anyone besides Sean Spears from a couple of years ago in AEW, so I'm going to root for his team because why not? Last but not least, we have Joe Hendry, the TNA champion, versus Trick Williams for the TNA championship. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so prestigious. Joe Hendry wins this. Which event from which company are you looking forward to the most this weekend? Drop a comment below and let me know if you like these. Maybe I'll drop more in the future. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy pro wrestling.